and welcome back to the Bourbon Bar. I'm Holden, and today I'm going to be reviewing none other than everyone's favorite barrel-proof bourbon, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Now, the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that I will be reviewing today is batch B522, and this is the newest release coming out in May. For those of you wondering, I got this at retail price when it is around, almost retail. I got it for $65.99, so I'm pretty sure that's about what they retail for. Some places you'll see them jacked up to like the $80, $90 mark, which is really expensive, but honestly, like $65 is a steal for this whiskey, so I'm not surprised that people mark it up. The proof on this bad boy is 121 proof, which comes out to 60.5% alcohol. It is a 12-year-old age statement, like all Elijah Craig barrel proofs up to this point. I don't know if they'll ever in the future knock it down, but I sure hope not. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour myself a glass of this, and I can't wait to get into it. This is honestly one of my favorite releases of each year. Favorite 3 releases of each year, because Elijah Craig Barrel Proof never seems to fail. It always kind of hits that mark, exactly what I want, and I love the Heaven Hill profile, so let's just go ahead and skip all the BS and jump right into the nose. Okay, so I'm getting this kind of like red fruitiness. I want to say cherry, or honestly, yeah, I would say a cherry or like a dark cherry. You know how there's normal cherries and there's like not black cherries, but like a dark red cherry. Definitely like a dark red cherry note. For sure some cinnamon in there, or maybe even like a nutmeg, I want to say. Some kind of baking spice in there. The proof comes through a little bit on the nose, but this is a fresh crack, so after it opens up a little bit, that might go away. It honestly doesn't smell as proofy as other batches, but I'm pretty sure 121 proof is just slightly higher than all the previous couple releases, like the C921 and the A122. But there is a heavy oak influence on this one. I almost get like an oak spiciness, a bit of caramel in there. Maybe more like a butterscotch, not a caramel, more on the butterscotch side of things. Just a light peanut dust, hardly noticeable in there. Definitely not overpowering. I kind of have to search for it a little bit. I'm kind of getting this graham cracker note that I usually only have gotten so far on a store pick of ECBP. It's kind of welcome here. It's not overpowering by any means. The store pick that had that graham cracker note was much more abundant, but this is kind of in the background, kind of on the same level as that peanut dust that I was talking about earlier, but it is there. It's just deep down in there. But this smells fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and get it on the palate for you guys, and I'll let you know how it tastes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good. That is some funk. There's some leather notes in there that I'm getting this like leathery note across the entire back end of the palate. Viscous, rich. Doesn't seem quite as hot as the other batches. A little bit easier to sip on, a little bit lighter. We're gonna go ahead and get another taste on this one. So the red fruit that I got on the nose died down a little bit on the palate here. It kind of upped more on the spiciness. I want to say that like nutmeg, maybe a little bit of fresh like cinnamon, but this nutmeg comes through on the palate. Very oak spicy. I'm getting on this one. It does have some nice leather undertones on the entire back end of the palate. Finish is nice. Kentucky Hug, obviously, cast strength. Love that. Great aspect of it. It's really good. I am gonna go and get some water, and I'm gonna just see what a little bit of water will do to this whiskey, and I will let you guys know how it is. Alright, I am back, and I did get some water. I am gonna use a pipette for this, and I'm just gonna just add probably about 1 milliliter of water, and we're gonna see how much that changes things. so with 1 milliliter of water added to this, just to bring the proof down a little bit, adding water to whiskey, especially cast strength whiskey, can really open up a lot of flavors and a lot of notes that you can't quite get when the entire cast strength overpowers everything. So it's nice to kind of add a little water once in a while, maybe put it on ice, and see how much the whiskey changes. So we're going to go the nose on this now with a little bit of water added. Okay, smells sweeter. I'm getting a lot more of that cherry note. It turned into a brighter cherry, like a normal red cherry. A little bit more peanut on this one. With the water brings a little bit extra peanut. I also want to say a little bit of vanilla, and the butterscotch is almost more of a caramel now. I almost get this kind of oak, like dustiness in it. I probably only brought the proof down by about like 10 points, so it's probably like 110, maybe 100 proof right now. But we're gonna go ahead and get this on the palate. Okay, so that is a real easy sipper, especially with the water added to it. It really brings out this like these dark notes. I got them on the normal palate with just cast strength, but with a little bit of water, kind of rounds everything off and makes it less aggressive and harsh. So we got a little bit of fruit, just a hint of it, but overwhelming oak spices and cinnamon, and there's that leather note is definitely there. I also want to say a little bit of tobacco in there. Coming from this being a large age stated whiskey, you can almost expect those dark notes in there usually, which you always can kind of count on. But this is the first one that I've really seen an overwhelming leathery tone to. And just in my opinion, I kind of find a good leather on the back end of this. Not as much on the nose, and definitely not on the front of the palate, but the back end going down leaves this like leathery funk that sits really well with me, and I really like that. Overall, this is a great release from Elijah Craig, but it would be interesting to put it against the others, which I think I will do in a coming up live stream possibly, but the thing I'm concerned about is this one isn't quite as sweet as the other ones, at least not yet. Now, I know these change a lot after they sit open for a while, and that's just something I'm going to have to explore later down the line, but it'd be interesting to see how much this change and develops and brings new flavors to the table. Overall, this is great whiskey. I think it's not quite my favorite. I think C921 is still holds the candle of my favorite one yet. It's just so sweet and nice like that. But this one's definitely got some nice things going on with it. A lot of that like rich cherry on the nose and some nice lot of spices. A lot of oak spice in there as well. Not too proofy, and it brings a nice leather undertone, which I really like. So that being said, it's time to grade this whiskey, but this is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, baby, and this is batch B522. You can expect all Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs to get at least over an 8 every time I grade it, but that's just because for the price of $65, can you really get anything better than Elijah Craig Barrel Proof? Hell no. I mean, maybe a Larceny Barrel Proof if you can find one for that price, which I did, spoiler alert, watch next week's video, but it's great whiskey, so I would honestly give this batch, B522, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, a 8.7 out of 10. The reason it's only getting an 8.7 is because, honestly, it's not my favorite Elijah Craig Barrel Proof out there. I think batch C921 still holds the candle for me. This one's great, and if you guys see it, definitely buy it. By no means is it bad whiskey, it's got some of those darker, leatherier, less sweet notes to it, in my opinion. But if you guys like that and that's your thing, definitely pick it up because you guys will love this whiskey. That being said, this is the end of the video. If you guys liked it, please hit the like button. It helps me a lot. And subscribe to the channel if you're not yet, because I am climbing my way up to 1,000, and I'm trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So please help me get there. But also leave a comment on the video if you guys have had batch B522, and let me know how you guys liked it. If this is your favorite or least favorite Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. It'll be exciting to see how you guys feel about it. But that's the end of the video, and I'll see you all in the next class.